Okay, folks. So today we're talking about distribution and solving the quadratic. So we're going to start out. Our problem is 3x times the quantity 12 minus 4x equals negative 48. All right? So right off the bat, we recognize these parentheses. And we need to make sure when we have these parentheses that this 3x gets multiplied to everything on the inside. So 3x times 12, 36x. 3x times negative 4x is a little more difficult. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. And x times x, we add our exponents to get x squared. And we have our, negative 48 on this side. From here, we want to combine everything on one side. I'm going to simultaneously move my terms, in descending order. So I move my terms in descending order, and I move the 48 over. Looking at that, though, it might be a little fast. Let's do this. Let's show the work. Let's show our steps, even though you might have it. Let's just show what's going on here. So I'm going to add 48 to both sides this way. This cancels. There's no term over here I can rewrite it with, or I can combine it with. So I'm going to move my negative 12x squared, which is my highest degree, to the front. I'm going to take my plus 36x, put it right here, and my plus 48 is right here. So same thing we talked about right here, negative 12x squared plus 36x plus 48. I just showed that step right there. So from here, when we have a quadratic like this, the first thing we want to do is break it down if possible. And in this case, we're going to pull out a negative 12 because a negative 12 divides evenly into each of these terms. So we have a negative 12 here. We're left with x squared. We are left with minus 3x, and we are left with minus 4 equals 0. So now we have the ability, or not the ability, we can look at this thing right here, and we can see that now we can work with just that. Okay, we just have to, we've sort of gotten rid of the negative 12. We're not gotten rid of it, but it's not part of our factoring. We're not worried about it equaling 0. So from here, we want to just do this. And what we want to do is get all our terms, all our multiples of 4. People might argue that, wait a minute, what about negative 4? But I don't. I do this. And then I look at these two pairs, and I say, which of these two pairs combines to negative 3? Well, that can't, but this can. If positive 1 and negative 4, so this can be rewritten. And don't forget the negative 12, because it's still going to impact our problem overall. This can be rewritten as x plus 1, the order does not matter, times x minus 4 equals 0. And now by the zero product property, what that means is when I'm multiplying two terms together, or multiple terms together, if any one of them equals 0, the whole thing equals 0. So right now, I can look right at this x plus 1, and I can only concern myself with that. And I can say x plus 1, when is this 0? So I want to sort of think of this. I don't need to write this down every time, but this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, what makes this 0? And then I can subtract 1, and I can actually solve it out by subtracting 1 from both sides. I'm not even going to show you that. And I get negative 1. Or I can simply get over the fact that, wait a minute, if I plug in negative 1 here, I get to 0. So either way I'm talking about it, I'm going to get this, I can work it out if I need to. And if it's a little more advanced, I can do that. But in this case, over here, now that I've done this one, I sort of get an idea, wait a minute, this is just going to be x equals 4. But most importantly here is I need to understand I have two solutions here. X equals negative 1 and x equals 4. And if I took either one of these solutions and plugged them into any stage of here, if I plugged into this part of the equation, or if I plugged into this part of the equation, I'd get 0. And what I've done here is I've cleaned this up. I've multiplied this through, moved the 48 over, moved the negative 48 over, set it equal to 0. And at this stage, I want to break it up. I want to factor it up, pull this out, get this situation right here. I don't want the little mark there. Get this situation here where I can look solely at x squared. I did it again, x squared minus 3x minus 4, and then break that up. And then from there, I'm looking at just each individual term. And when I get to this final part, x equals negative 1, x equals 4, I have my solutions. Okay.